Hello and welcome to Horror and Monster Collectibles, where today we are going to be taking a look at Sideshow Collectibles quarter scale premium format Leatherface. So let's spin them around and take a closer look. Now I think what we're going to do to take a closer look is we are going to spin him around while we talk about him, because there is not a bad angle on this guy. I'm just going to set that down real quick. And he is tall, so to the top of the chainsaw is 28 inches from the bottom of the base. And as you can see, everything is just detailed so well. I love the weathering and the metallic that they have on the chainsaw where the paint's been worn off. So the detailing on that alone is way badass. The weathering on his shirt, or I should say the staining on his shirt, is incredible. And he is probably my favorite quarter scale figure they have in their horror line. Just that sculpt is spot on. They even used real straps on the face sculpt. Now, one thing I will bring up about this piece is it's the only thing that's kind of hard about it is getting the apron formed so it looks like everything is in motion. There is a wire lining the tie and the apron, and to get this all this like bent out and the apron folded where it looks like it's flowing from his movement is kind of a pain in the butt. But once you get it set in place, you don't have to worry about it, and it looks absolutely killer. Just kind of pull back here, get a good shot of that apron. But that's kind of like the one thing I see on people setting this up, is that the apron to me just doesn't look great. And I'm not saying that I have it set up fabulously, but I think it looks pretty good. I got pretty good motion on there. Let's take a look at the top of the base. And there's a bunch of feathers on here. Now, I will say that this is not the exclusive. The exclusive comes with a standalone hammer that you basically, you can just set the hammer like on top of the base. It's kind of a weak exclusive, in my opinion. It doesn't really add to the statue that much. So if you get this guy, just the standard version, I think you're going to still be very happy. Take a look at the adornments on the base, and the scenes that they have carved in here is just absolutely incredible. This matches their quarter scale horror line that they came out with a couple years ago. Matches the Jason and the Freddy. I love the Jason, although I don't have it. But I do have the Freddy, and he is just not as cool as this Leatherface is. They even have some nice little light blue veining in the arms, which just adds just that little bit more realism to it. But I just think it looks so incredible. This is my favorite piece that they've done in the quarter scale line. All right, final thoughts on old Leatherface here. I think he's just absolutely fabulous. You guys know that I give Sideshow a hard time at times, or often, or whatever. But I will also admit when they do a killer job on something, and they have done a terrific job on this piece. I mean, I'm not even into quarter scale that much. I'm more of a 1/3 scale guy. But I got kind of like a package deal on this guy and Freddy, so I jumped on it, and I'm so glad I did. I had seen pictures and I knew about the piece. Again, it's been out for a couple years now, but you know, for whatever reason, it just never stood out as something I had to get. But man, I am so glad I did. He is just freaking vicious. He is just so badass. You are going to need some height wherever you display him. Again, he's about 28 inches tall to the top of the chainsaw. So be mindful of that. But he is worth it. I mean, the base the dioramas on the base is just freaking awesome. The scenes that they have sculpted on there are just, I mean, it's just top notch. And the paintwork on there is freaking brilliant. I love this movie too. I am a huge Leatherface fan. The original obviously being my favorite one. And then I would probably say the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 being my second favorite. But I mean, this is just such a great piece and such an iconic character, and Sideshow did a great job. I would like to see some kind of different blood splatter on the apron. I feel like it's a little too stiff, but that's really probably my only critique here. Like, I really think that this is great, guys. It is really great. Again, this is not the exclusive. The exclusive comes with a little hammer, but since you can't really put him holding it or anything like that, you basically have to lay it on top of the base. It doesn't really add a whole lot to it, in my opinion anyway. I think he is great whichever version you have or you are able to get. But whichever one you get, you're gonna love. And trust me on that. He is just really, really good. Sideshow did a great job on here. I would say that Leatherface is probably the best of the three, and then Jason being second, and then Freddy being last. I just really think that the Freddy doesn't match up to the other two. Jason and Leatherface just look absolutely killer, and Freddy is just lacking a little bit. Not to say that he's terrible. I have him and I like him. I also just love Freddy. But anyway, you won't be disappointed with that either, but I would get him at a discount. I mean, those are still available on Sideshow's site, and it's been out for a couple years now, so that probably tells you something. So anyway, feel free to leave any questions or comments that you have on the piece, or any thoughts that you might have on it, and I'd love to hear them. Feel free to like and subscribe and click the bell for notifications for new videos. And what I'll do is I'll leave you guys with some studio shots of Leatherface here, and I'll see you guys later.